Hi guys, Sanjay from Savoys. So we're back at our site to give you an update. As you guys know, this site was a commercial to residential when we had the garages and we sold the garages, so the garages have gone. But let me show you what we've been doing inside here. So this in here, we'll give you a little sneak peek if you want, but it's not ready yet. So this was used for storage, and we're now going to make this into a 2-bedroom flat. So we're going to update you on this afterwards. So you can run, give them a quick peek just from here, but let me take you inside the main bit. One of the previous videos I mentioned how we negotiated with our commercial tenant and reduced his rent down a little bit. So we lost X amount of money, but what we gained was what I'm going to show you inside. But the little things that we had to do for him were stuff like this. So if you see this, he used the room on this side, on my left, your right, for storage, because they sell cartridges in cartridges. So what we done was we built this. So we spent a few £1,000s. They're lockable, as you can see. I can't open. I think one's open. Oh, I can open. So you can see they're using it just for their own storage and stuff. So it makes them happy, and it gives us space to do what we've done here. Let me show you. So this room here was originally used for the storage, as you can probably see in the previous videos, and you can see we made a nice kitchen, and you know, you've obviously got all the cabinets here, you've got the boiler there, we've got, this is, if I'm not mistaken, you've got a mega flow tank in here. So you know, we've sort of used this space, which we didn't have, it wasn't in the lease, but because we negotiated in a clever way, we got this back, and now we've used it as the kitchen for this HMO. Right, listen, you've got to watch this, because I'm going to give you some tips and drop some gems and show you how we make our HMOs efficient as possible. This is really important if you're new to HMOs or thinking about getting HMOs, because what you don't want to do is start your journey and make these mistakes, and you know, it could be very, very costly. So make sure you pay attention. Follow me. To start with, this is a 3-story building, and because of that, you need a fire panel. Fire alarm panel is very important. It's important, and it's a requirement, so you have to have that done. If it was 2 stories, it's not, but 3 stories, you need it. As you can see, you need to put all the labels up, fire exit signs, just in case there's a fire, everybody knows. All the doors are fire doors, have to have that. You've got to make sure you put the seals in there. Door closures at the top, got to have them. The little trick that we do is individual fuse boxes. When we first started off, myself and Malcolm weren't doing that, and we used to get a phone call at crazy times of the night or early morning, and it'd be like, the whole house is tripped. Don't know what's going on, and for us, we have to go to each room, try and work out, because the problem is sometimes you ask the tenant, or by the time you get there, the tenant's gone. So you don't know who's done what. It could be a faulty fridge, could be a kettle, could be a toaster, you don't know. Whereas what this does now is it stops that from happening, so you're isolating it to the room. So for example, let's say for argument's sake, I don't know, had a hair straightener, not me, but let's say somebody did, and put it on and it's faulty. If that causes a trip, it's only going to trip in the room. So the individual will know that that problem is isolated in their room and not the house, and no one else gets affected. This is one of the most important things you've got to do. Secondly, you can't see it here, but that's coming. So that's an intercom system. So the reason we do that, you've got 5 people staying here, let's say for argument's sake, and the doorbell goes, no one's going to pick up the door because no one knows who they're here for, whether it's a postman, whether it's a guest. Yes, we have mobile phones, but for the postman, they're not going to phone your mobile. So what happens here is, if this is room, let me see if the room name's got numbers on it. But this is A. So room A here, outside on the intercom system would be A. For postman or delivery, or anybody who comes, they buzz A, this person will answer the intercom system, and they know it's for them. So this saves anybody sort of losing packages, missing parcels, and maybe even possibly missing any guests, because no one's answering the door. So this is key as well. Fridge freezer. We give everybody their own fridge freezer. The reason behind this is, in the past what's happened is people start complaining when you share the fridges. Someone's used my milk, someone's taken my bread, someone's taken my sandwich, someone's taken this. This again stops all that from happening, because they're, you know, if you can see it, it's a standard one. So you've got the freezer area there, the fridge area here, so they keep everything here. They can put their milk, their juice, their drinks, everything inside. That's their compartment, that's their fridge. And if they're gonna cook something, they'll take it from here. They want to have cereal, you know, you've got, give them the worktop here. They can keep their dishes. Again, in here they keep dishes, so no one takes those as well. Another thing we do is a desk. So we've started doing this a few years back now, well, a good few years back. So we do that and we make sure that if they're going to do their work, because a lot of people nowadays work from home, they can put a laptop here, they can put a TV here. We've got TV points to help the sockets nearby, so if they're going to use anything, put a TV output, put anything, or even their monitor, they've got access to Wi-Fi, make it faster, they can plug it straight in here to make their Wi-Fi faster. We wire this all around while we're doing the development, and then obviously it's all in there, so it's ready to go, so they can have high-speed internet. And that's key, because everybody, as you know, can't work without internet now. So these are some tricks. Let's see if we can see any more. So we always give everyone their own ensuite. The reason behind this is, when we started off, I mean, look, HMO's been around for years, and people used to just put fire doors up and share rooms. So we thought, how can we make these better? How would, you know, if I was going to stay in a HMO, what would I want? And I'll tell you point blank, I wouldn't want to share a bathroom with anybody else. So that's one of the main things that we actually implemented. It's one of the first things we done. We actually started to make them en suites. And if you look at it, if I bring you back, Ronnie, I mean, look at the standard finish over here. You know, we provide top quality products. And the reason we do that is because we always look at things and approve it on the basis that, would we live there? Would we want to stay in this property? Is it good enough for me? If it's good enough for us, it's good enough for our tenants. So we just make sure that the standard's high. Right, before I go up these stairs, Ronnie, have a look. We put these on here, and the reason we do that is there's no carpet, as you can see, but these are sort of used in commercial buildings, so they'll stop any damages, the wear and tear. This will stay down, so we always make sure we put this on there, and they'll help you not slip. So we always put them on, and they look nice as well. We're now on the 3rd floor, so what we've done here is there's a minimum requirement of kitchen area, especially if you're going to have 5 or more people. You've got to have 2 sinks, 2 ovens, and 2 hobs. So if you saw downstairs that big kitchen, there's 1, 1, 1, 1. The second one's up here. So this was a spare room, and we thought people in the middle floor and this floor won't have to go all the way downstairs every time. They can come up here and use this as well. So it's nice. They've got 2 kitchens to use, but you can have a quick look at them. Right, so there's a whole list which we'll go through another time, but you know, you've got fire blankets, fire signs, fire lighting, smoke detectors, all that. Now before I go in this room, we use this, punch locks. Now, I've got a bag somewhere at home full of, I don't know, hundreds of keys, because we were using keys before, but as you can imagine, what happens, the tenant phones up, my key's broken, I've lost my key, can someone let me in? I haven't got a key, and we're finding all this, whereas now, you have codes, and with these codes, with these punch locks, what we do is, when a new tenant gets a fresh code, when a tenant leaves, we change the code, so even if it's on the front door, we'll change it, update the existing tenants that it's changed, and the tenant for the room will get a new code. So this is for their own safety, so the old tenant cannot come back in that property again. But it makes life so much easier. Last but not least, we don't go to IKEA and buy wardrobes from there, because what generally happens is you stick a wardrobe somewhere, like for example this out here. You know, let's say I move into this property, I'm like, oh, I don't like it here. Let me actually push it over here. You know, by the time you drag it and do it, you're going to damage it. Even if you screw them down, it's still going to get damaged. Whereas these are fully fitted wardrobes. They're not going nowhere. You ain't gonna be able to do nothing. They're proper fitted. And what happens is we pay more money for this, but as you can see, they're more or less floor to ceiling, so they're all bespoke. So there's no wastage of any time. So even sometimes if you have rooms in a loft and you have the eaves, you'll see that it's sort of cut at an angle just to fit in. So we always utilize it and make them bespoke. Now, if you guys look around here, I mean, I've seen some crazy HMOs, you know, designs, colors on the internet. There's nothing wrong with them at all. But what we found is the colors we use is because we keep it simple. We don't go for light colors, like we don't put the whites or the, you know, creams or anything like that. We tend to go for the grays. And the reason is because in HMOs, you have turnover of tenants. It happens quite a lot. So what you want to make sure is what you have here, it doesn't get damaged. You know, it's long lasting, which is why we use the flooring we do, which is why we fit the cupboards, and which is why we use the greys, because if it's white or anything light, you're going to see scuffs and marks. Whereas I'm not saying you won't see it on the grey, but it's less visible. And we know the greys that we use and the colours we use, so just quick lick of paint on, you know, patch it up and just move on for the next tenant. So these are advice that we'll give you, that go for the darker colours, don't go for the lighter colours. Right, so we don't use curtains. You can see we use blinds. And the reason for that is, I just think number one, it looks cleaner. Number two, it's easier to maintain. Less dust, less maintenance, less everything. But it looks nice and it does its job. And if I'm honest with you, I think all our tenants, the feedback we get is they prefer blinds. So we don't do curtains at all. We don't put net curtains, nothing like that. Just blinds in every room. They're blackout blinds. So you put that down, there's pitch black in the room, which is what they want, because some people work night shifts, they want to sleep in the daytime. So we always get blackout blinds. So that's another tip for you guys. I've shown you the upstairs, you've seen everything. You saw the kitchen downstairs. This little one I didn't show you, so let me show you. So when we bought this, we had a basement. It was messy down there. It was not nice at all. So what we've done is, let me show you first, come on. You can see we've got this space here. So what we're gonna do, we've got electrical meters and stuff is in here. So we've partitioned this, separated it. You can put like hoovers and whatever down there. But what we're going to do here is we're going to make some, put some desks and chairs here. So what this is going to be like a communal room for someone to come if they want to work, if they want to have a meeting, if they want to just, you know, sit here and read or whatever. So we utilize this space for that. So it's an extra bonus that a tenant's going to have. So these are the kind of things that you have to do. So when you have a basement, don't just leave it, use it and utilize that space. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today, and hope you enjoyed all the advice and the gems that we dropped. Make sure you use them. If you've got any questions, DM us. A lot of people have asked us questions in the past, so I'm going to answer them now, which is, first of all, how did you find the site and how much was it and what's the GDV? So I'll start from the very first question, which is, how did we find the site? Now this site was with an agent that we know. It was on the market on and off for a few months. It was on for I think about 950,000. I came down, had a look at the site. It was obviously quite run down. The upstairs was run down. It was in a bad state, so obviously I knew we had to spend a lot of money on it, but that's perfect for us because we're going to gut everything anyway. But the agent didn't know that, so put an offer in as a cash offer. So I'll do it within 6 weeks, which is what we've done, for £700,000. So we achieved that, purchased it for our client with the garage and the HMO aspect and the flat, and also with the commercial. The GDV was 2.15 million. We sold that for about 150. So the GDV now is about £2 million, which is a cracking deal. I mean, absolutely cracking deal. I should have bought it myself. This is the kind of deal that comes up very rarely, but if you keep your eye out and you just, you know, even if something's overpriced and you go and see the agent, you can always try and negotiate. So things like that, don't always, you know, believe the price you see, try and negotiate. Last but not least, a lot of people ask us, how do we calculate our deals? You know, how do we analyze them? So what we're going to do for you is, if you click the link below, for free, I'm going to give you our deal analyzer, which is what we used on this project and we use on all our projects.